Hey, everybody. I just want to do a short video about the latest fund drive for the Libertarian Institute, which is headed by the director, Scott Horton. The Libertarian Institute is a great website. I think it's vastly underrated, and I want to try and help my audience into getting interested in this great resource website. The Libertarian Institute, which provides like a forum for discussion and education regarding the topics of like foreign policy, foreign and domestic, society and cultural issues from a libertarian perspective and not a polarizing, divisive perspective of the left and right. The website provides a vast array of articles, books, interviews from commentators across the political spectrum, and it is a literal like library of pertinent documents, books, lectures, interviews, videos from a number of people. Now, the staff itself is headed by Scott Horton. Now, I know Scott Horton a little bit. Scott Horton and I spoke once on the phone, and what he doesn't know, well, I'll relate here, is that he was a major part of me being involved with the events of September 11, 2001, my studies thereof, because I've read a lot of his stuff. I've listened to a number of his podcasts, and he's done over 5,000 since the year, I think 2002 or 2003. Just a impressive background this guy has. And I've interviewed him for my podcast at the Darkened Hour. He's the host of Anti-War Radio on Pacifica at KPFK at 90.7 FM in Los Angeles, as well as the host of the Scott Horton Show, where he's conducted all those 5,000 interviews. 5,000, it's amazing. And he's also the director of the Libertarian Institute, but he's also the editorial director of antiwar.com, which was the first website that I ran into in my studies of 9/11, which was created by the late Justin Raimondo. And also, Scott Horton wrote Fool's Errand, Time to End the War in Afghanistan, and Enough Already, Time to End War on Terrorism. He's also written a book called The Great Ron Paul, The Scott Horton Show's Interviews of 2004 to 2019. He's been on The Kennedy Show. He has done a number of interviews with a number of primary news agencies, publications online, and he's really accessible. This is the most important part of Scott Horton, is that he never allows his profile, his background, which is it's lengthy and it just awe-inspiring. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know how he conducts 5,000 interviews. That's incredible. But you know, he never lets it get to his head. He's easily accessible, and to me, this is the key to Scott Horton. Great guy. Last time I spoke was about 2.5 years ago on phone, and we talked for 3 hours. 3 hours with me and nobody. So yeah, that guy is great, and he is a Britannica of Middle East history, Middle East culture, U.S. interventionism of the last 70 years, at least. Everybody knows about his debate with William Crystal, the co-author of the Project for New American Century. And it was I knew it was going to be a one-sided debate, but it was a complete, literal landslide. And it was embarrassing for Crystal, actually. I think he underestimated Scott Horton. Also at the Libertarian Institute is the executive director, Sheldon Richman. Sheldon Richman is the research fellow at the Independent Institute as well, and he's also the editor at the Freeman, published by the Foundation for Economic Education, and he's also the vice president, or the former vice president at the Future of Freedom Foundation, and he's the author of America's Counter-Revolution, and his books are also Opposing the Crusader State, which he wrote back in 2007. And he's written so many articles on economics, foreign policy, um, education, the environment, American history. This guy is a cerebral type of individual where it's not coming, again, it's not coming from a very divisive worldview. He's a very independent intellectual outside of the scope of things. Many of the people at the Libertarian Institute are this way. So it's going to be very strange for people to come upon these people's works and see it from a unbiased point of view. And this is really unfortunate because, and this is the reason why I'm doing this video, is because we need more people like this. And in this day and age, especially with the Ukraine crisis, we're seeing a remarkably divisive issue from the left and right. And this is the reason why I'm doing this video, because these people are coming from outside of that spectrum. And these people need to be promoted. And even though I'm a small channel trying to do my bit, these people need to be followed and studied and understood. And it would do you a great service, because it did me a great service to know these people. And also you have the news editor for the Libertarian Institute, Kyle Anzalone. Now, Kyle, I've met through Facebook when I had it. He's the opinion editor at antiwar.com, and he's the news editor at the Libertarian Institute. And he's also the co-host of Conflicts of Interest podcast, which is, I call him the Terminator. I never said that to him. And I know he's not one for grandiose adulations, but he heck deserves it. I am really impressed with this guy. And I like to think that I do videos as much, but Kyle is determined, because every day I see not one video, but I sometimes see 5. And to me, it's incredible, this guy's work. I don't think he sleeps, but he is a machine. Him and Will Porter, who I've known a little bit closer on Facebook and Twitter. I speak to them sometimes, and I try to promote their work when I can. But these guys are really the future of the Libertarian Institute, for sure. There's other people as well, like I got through them, like Connor Macfarlane, another fantastic young man who's written so many articles, done so many interviews with Kyle Anzalone about Ukraine, Iraq, Afghanistan. Connor Macfarlane is just fantastic. Again, just like the elder statesmen with Scott Horton and Sheldon Richman, the new faces like Kyle Anzalone, Will Porter, Connor Macfarlane, and Patrick Macfarlane, and Connor, oh boy, I'm butchering his name here. Why am I doing that? Connor Freeman. God, forgive me, Connor. Connor Freeman. Goodness gracious. Freeman Minds, at Freeman Minds. Yeah, Connor Freeman, Patrick Macfarlane, Kyle Anzalone, Will Porter. I'm blown away by these guys. And it gives me hope for the future that there are intelligent, intellectual, libertarian minds for the future. I don't know too much about libertarian issues, and I've followed, thankfully, half of my subscriber count on YouTube is due to Reed Coverdale, who's a libertarian, who's really rising in the ranks. I got to give him a ton of credit. He interviewed me. He didn't need to. I'm a nobody, really. I like to stay in the shadows anyway. So, but still, these young men are really the only hope, I think, for the political atmosphere, and to try and to interject pertinent issues such as war. I mean, there's no issue bigger than that which threatens the human race. And these guys basically on a daily basis, and that's not an exaggeration, it's a daily basis of these guys, that they're trying to bring forth the pertinent issues that the legacy media in this country won't dare touch. And again, I just because I'm singing their praises, because these guys really are promoting important issues for the American public to have. And it's not like you have to go to a paywall either. These guys are doing it for free, which is another value for the American people. and for people in general. It's not even just for American people, it's for people worldwide. That there, that there isn't just a blue and a red type of flag being posted here in this country. That this is the reason why I support the Libertarian Institute and the people that work there, like Scott Horton, Sheldon Richman, Kyle Anzalone, Will Porter, and Connor Freeman, and Patrick Macfarlane, and others, which I'll name. These are the people that are trying to keep informed while not misinforming or disinforming or politically manipulating its readers, its viewers. And these are the people that we should get behind, because without these people, basically, we're left with who? Sean Hannity, CNN, really? Those idiots over there? I couldn't tell you the amount of disinformation that comes from people like CNN, Wolf Blitzer, and Victor Blackwell, and John Berman, and the others. And of course, you have other people like in Fox, for example, like Maria Bartomeu, Dan Boningo, and Guy Benson, Lisa Booth, and God, just come on, man. And they push issues which are basically not important to people. It's not educational, other than the people over here at the Libertarian Institute, who are educating properly, responsibly informing the American people and the world about what's going on, what's really going on within the left and right, and how the US establishment, such as the State Department or the CIA, the NSA, the Israeli lobby, the Saudi lobby, how they're interfering with American politics, which affect people abroad and even here in this country. Hunter DeRensis, the editor over at the Libertarian Institute. I don't know too much about him, but he's the editor. He's the communications director of the Veterans Advocacy Organization, Bring Our Troops Home. And he's also the former reporter at the National Interest. And he's been featured at the American Conservative, Real Clear Politics, antiwar.com, and the Ludwig von Mises Institute. Now, they have a board of directors, Scott Horton, Sheldon Richman, Tom Woods. Tom Woods, I've just been following on Twitter for the past year. He is the 2019 winner of the Hayek Lifetime Achievement Award. He is the senior fellow at the Mises Institute, and he's the host of Tom Woods Show. Laurie Calhoun is the author of the book "We Will Because We Can: From Soldering to Assassinations in the Drone Age War and Delusion: A Critical Examination You Can Leave," and "Philosophy Unmasked: A Skeptic's Critique." David Belto, who was the professor of history at the University of Alabama, and Gary Chartier, he's the American legal scholar and philosopher, and he's currently distinguished professor of law and business ethics. Steve Wolskow, who's the secretary over at the Libertarian Institute. He's an entrepreneur and was president of the Tech Products Incorporated. And Daniel Gill, also a treasurer, who is here in New York as well, but he's upstate in Ithaca. He graduated from Charles Dickinson High School and attended the University of Wisconsin-Madison in 1976 with a degree in accounting. And so those are the people at the board of directors. And look, I could go on and on about those guys, but let's talk about the articles. If you go to the articles and where they have books like Fool's Errand, End the War in Afghanistan, Enough Already, Time to End the War on Terrorism, Coming to Palestine, What Social Animals Owe to Each Other, and No Quarter, The Ravings of William Norman Grigg. And for those who don't know about William Norman Grigg, the late William Norman Grigg was the former managing editor at the Libertarian Institute, and he was an He was an independent journalist and author of 6 books, but he passed away regretfully in 2017. And I just found out about him recently in order to do this video. And also, there's also a really important area here, and I want to talk about it because it's the Libertarian Institute's Ultimate Oklahoma City Bombing Documents Archive. And this is run by Richard Booth. I follow him on Twitter, and he is just basically like a safe, a Britannica of archives and material relating to Oklahoma City bombing. And in this area, which is, I think this is a great idea by the Libertarian Institute, where they have archives of like historical points in history. And you'll find a whole slew, go under archives, and you'll see Oklahoma City bombing archive. You'll see Will Griggs archives and the podcast archives, where Freeman Beyond the Wall by my God, what am I? I'm drawing a blank. Peter Quinonius. His archives are over there. But the Oklahoma City bombing archives, if you go on the side over there on the right, you'll have categories of the archives like J.D. Cash articles, magazine articles, news reports, the court records and trial documents, the Timothy McVeigh trial transcripts, the Terry Nichols trial transcripts, and it is like a slew of information here regarding to the Oklahoma City bombing. And Richard Booth deserves a ton of credit. Follow him on Twitter. I think he's literally another brain for the Libertarian Institute. A lot of these guys at the Libertarian Institute, and like I said, no exaggeration, they are just really experts in regards to the fields that they study and they promote. So you're not going to get any amateur authors or amateur podcasters or amateur writers or editors. These guys are longtime experts. They're longtime students of the field of guarding U.S. imperialism, Middle East and cultural affairs, religious fundamentalism, and of course, neoconservatism, and of course now the Oklahoma City bombing itself. There's so much in here that I haven't spoken about, but you know what's important is that they're fundraising at the current moment. And I would submit to you that it would be your best interest, because I'm going to fundraise for the first time in my life at the Libertarian Institute today, because I think these guys well deserve the support. I really do. And I rarely do this. You know, I know there's some people that know what they're talking about. I barely support people as it is. I only support people I know are doing an invaluable service for the people, for the public, and the Libertarian Institute is doing just that. I can't thank them enough for what they've done. Scott Horton has been an invaluable resource for me in my studies of 9/11, even though I know he doesn't talk about it. But I've learned a lot of stuff also from Sheldon Richman and Kyle Anzalone and Connor Freeman and Patrick Macfarlane and Will Porter, and they don't realize it, but I do. And every day I pick up something that I didn't know before that they've posted either on YouTube or on Twitter. And, you know, this is my public thank you to them and to others as well who are not affiliated to the Libertarian Institute, but are affiliated with libertarian issues like Reed Coverdale. And, you know, Reed, thank you so much for what you've done for my channel. And, you know, it's great. Half of my subscriber count is owed to you on Twitter and on YouTube. And, you know, my goodness, young man, you know, I'm really impressed with you for what you've done yourself in just over 12 months. And there's others as well. You know, you have a young guy named David Brady who's up and coming. He's a young teenager, 17 years old. And wow, at 17, you know, he's trying his best relating to the pertinent issues of the world. What 17-year-old does that? You know, and there's other young people that I'm not too familiar with, but I've seen them on Twitter. The young guys like I I forgot his name, and it's going to kill me. I don't know the Top Lobster's name, for example. So I'm like, I don't know what his name is. I don't want to call him Top Lobster. Like, he's a libertarian. Dave Smith. Hey, Dave Smith, my goodness. You know, thanks to Reed Coverdale, I found out who Dave Smith is. Dave Smith is actually a tremendous voice in the libertarian movement for the Mises Caucus movement. He's a comedian too, and he's good at that. And usually I'm not, you know, smiling much and don't laugh much because of the issues I'm studying. It makes me very dull, which I have to apologize for. But Dave Smith has been like the biggest voice of the Libertarian Institute. Really, it's just, that guy is daily putting stuff out. He is so important. I think he's so valuable to them that he could probably run as a political candidate. I don't know what state he's from, but yeah, I don't know. Pete and Eric Jackman. Oh my God, how could I forget these guys? They're like a machine. Every week, 2 videos, and they interview a slew of people. One of the biggest interviews they've ever done was with a Jeffrey Epstein victim, Maria Farmer. I believe that they interviewed Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii. Unbelievable. They even interviewed me, you know, and I don't belong with those names. Wonderful sense of humor. And I think this guy, is it Eric? I think he does a great impersonation of Donald Trump. I'm blown away by it, by the way. But yeah, not only do they have a great sense of humor, but they also talk about serious issues. And that's the reason why they have a great sense of humor, because, you know, you'll drive yourself nuts, or you'll be dead like me. You know, the Robert Smith of 9/11, that would be me, you know, or Slow Dive, you know, just, you know, black soul and no life whatsoever. I try to put something in it, but yeah, you'll get what I'm saying. These guys, I owe a debt of credit to. They've been very good to me, and I follow them wherever you can. And as well, you know, the old names too that are affiliated with libertarian issues. I don't need to, you know, say his name, but I'm going to do it anyway because everybody knows him. Ryan Dawson, who has been like the OG of 9/11, the Epstein issue, which is comprehensive in his own right. Michael Riviero over at whatreallyhappened.com, who's been around, God, what is it, over 20 years, just like Scott Horton has been around for over 20 years. And God, his website is literally a treasure trove of information regarding 9/11, US imperialism, and just goodness gracious. Yeah, I mean, I could name so many young people, but I can't remember their names right now. And I'm trying to remember as much as I can. I know there's another guy, and man, I feel bad because I wish I knew his name. Oh my God. Yeah, that's right. A guy, Keith Knight over, now, Keith Knight does the Don't Tread on Anyone podcast. Follow this guy. He's the managing editor. That's another name I forgot. I have to forgive me, please. He's the managing editor at the Libertarian Institute. Wow, this guy, young man to another brain over there. I mean, God sakes, I don't know how many names I'm forgetting too. He does issues regarding the political divide in the country, US imperialism, unbiased mindset, unbiased view. You're gonna, just amazing how many young guys they have that are just like outside of the, you know, the box in regards to what we're used to, like from a political, like a Democratic or Republican bias. These guys don't have that. And so they're reporting on the issues without that. So yeah, look, I'm not going to just keep going on and on and on. But yeah, hey, listen, Libertarian Institute, please go. Oh, by the way, the other guy that I just remembered, and you know, I have to give him a little bit of credit because I've known him for a little bit on Twitter. No Way Jose from the Tower Power podcast, Tower Power Hour podcast. Say that 3 times fast. His name is Jose. I don't know his last name. I don't think I know his last name, but yeah, he's another one that he goes by the handle 2020 No Way Jose. Follow him as well. Yeah, and look, everybody, I'm going to put the donation page at the bottom of the description. $5, $10. I'm going to donate 20. These guys sorely deserve it. Okay, outside of the issues that that we know them and whatnot. Outside of that, these people are doing an invaluable service in educating responsibly the public at large, in which we are living in a period that desperately needs it. And I think we can all agree on that, because without unbiased information, what we're left with is a left and right point of view, which is a wrong point of view. It's a biased point of view, and the public cannot act on indecisiveness. We need to act in order to save the future for our children and for people abroad who are victims of US imperialism, as well as right here in the United States of America. So please donate what you can. $1, $5, $10, doesn't matter. The Libertarian Institute is doing an invaluable service.